Hello, Anneke van Giersbergen.
Hello.
Welcome to the Progarchy Podcast.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
Good. You too?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thanks for joining us. We wanted to talk to you about your new album, which is coming out on February 26th from, what is it? Inside
Out music. Yeah.
Out. So is that the start
Yeah.
of the album? You took your insides and put them on the outsides with music and told us your story?
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it.
How did these
Yeah. It's definitely an album that came from inside. It was very inward and very personal story. Yeah.
Well, how did these songs come about? Were you writing the songs with other musicians, or are these songs that you came up with on your own?
Actually, these songs are very much came out of my own inner world, and a lot of times I kind of co-write with other people. Like I start writing an album, and then quickly, for instance, a producer or somebody or guitar player just kind of writes with me or whatever. And in this case, there was so much going on in my life that I wanted to write about in the most pure and honest way, that I said to myself and to everybody else, I'm going to retrieve myself and be all alone and write all the songs just on my own, so they'll be as pure and as honest as possible. And then in the later stage, I asked Gijs Kolen, my friend and producer, to finish the songs with me and to produce the album.
Well, one of the songs is called Keep It Simple. Keep it simple, keep it pure. It's like that was your motto for making the record.
Yeah, for sure. Because there was a period in my life where there was a lot of stuff going on at the same time, as it does in life. Everything comes at the same time, and that was such a chaos. And there was um um and I doubted so much, and I couldn't cope with all these different things and challenges at the same time, that I really told myself a lot of the times, Annie, keep it simple, keep it simple. And at one point I wrote a song about it. Like I felt that for instance, I needed to write like a new song, and I was thinking what should be about. And then at that moment, for that song, for instance, I was like super tired, and I was alone in this cabin by the woods, and I was writing on my own. And I was thinking, well, I'm super tired, so I don't have a lot of energy. So, okay, then keep it simple. So simple chords. So what the lyrics should be about, well, just keep it simple. Well, it's about keeping it simple, because sometimes we have to go back to the core of what is important, right? And that's always simplicity in my case.
And your collaboration with other musicians is so wonderful. The instrumentation and the arrangements on this album. My wife loved it right away. She said, this is like the gentle storm.
Oh, I heard that more often. People said like it's the calm, album of the soft album of the gentle storm, which is a good compliment, because Arin Lucas wrote the music for the gentle storm, and he's amazing. So it's
Let's talk
great.
about the first song on the album. It's called Agape. Now, it's unusual to have a song whose title is a Greek word.
Yeah,
What's the song
indeed. I just yesterday I learned how to pronounce it in Greek, because I had no idea. So I asked a Greek person, and you pronounce it agape, agape, I think. And but it's a word. It's a beautiful word. I know this word for years, and it's something I can think about for hours. It means the highest form of love. Now, I mean, isn't that the ultimate thing in life, right? To be able to feel or to experience the highest form of love. So there can be love for God or the universe, but also for yourself, for your friends, for the romantic love, the highest form. And I kind of wrote about that, that's what we should fight for, that's what we should pursue in life.
Well, that's the song where the album title comes from, isn't it? The
Yeah.
darkest skies are the brightest.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. And it kind of deals with the fact that we have to go through a little bit of darkness to get to a light place. And I think that's also something that's that feeling of the whole album, you know, that we have to kind of face our demons and our challenges head on and go through them, and then find something of an inner peace, or a hope, or, you know, or happiness maybe in our lives, you know.
Well, it's a lovely beginning because it has the strings that immediately make you think of all those wonderful arrangements on the gentle version of The Gentle Storm. And then
Right, yeah.
the second track, Hurricane, is a big surprise because you're not singing in your high voice. It comes in, you're singing with a lower voice, and there's all this wonderful percussive drum happening.
Yeah, true. And sometimes when you start writing a song, you already hear percussion or the strings or so. And with Hurricane, I had this like feeling this needs a little bit of a percussion. I don't know where it comes from, man. I mean, I listen to folk music or world music. Obviously, some of that is in my system, and but you never know when it comes out, and when it comes out of your pen. And I suppose this album has a little bit of these rootsy kind of things to it, and it surprised me as well, actually.
Oh, I loved it, and the drum sound is amazing.
Oh, thanks.
The next track, My Promise, is an incredible song. There's a bit of a pivot in it where it stops and it begins again, and these strings bring it back to life. You know the part I'm talking about where you say heaven and earth will collide?
Yeah, totes. Yeah, and it's so cool that you kind of mentioned this, because that's the whole flow of the song. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, in multi-layered. And I asked Ruud Peters is his name, the man who made the arrangements for the string quartet, and he's amazing. So I told him it needs this, but I can't write arrangements for strings. You know, that's difficult, especially the way he does it. And he nailed it. He nailed it, and this whole song became elevated with his arrangement and with these beautiful, wonderful ladies of the string quartet. Yeah, for sure.
Such a powerful moment. I remember when I first heard it, it blew me away, and it still happens each time I hear it, because you're singing with such intensity of emotion, and then it pauses, and then the gentle springs, which it's like you're spiraling up, flying, coming back somehow from a difficult moment.
It's so cool how you listen to it. It's great to hear.
And the fourth track is called I Saw a Car. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did you play this song live when you were in Vancouver touring with Amorphous and Delane? Was that part of your
No.
acoustic set? Well, then I just imagined it, because I remember my wife Angela and I saw you play at that concert, and that was our favorite part. Just one person with an acoustic guitar singing songs, connecting with the audience. And maybe in my imagination, after hearing this song, I imagine you singing it in concert. Is it a song in concert?
No, and I'm thinking maybe I did a song that looked like sounded like that, but I think what you pick up on is kind of this atmosphere, because when I was writing this song, and because it's a bit of an odd one out, right, on the album, but when I was writing it, I was also thinking, this is a great live song. This is something that we can have some fun with on stage and with each other when we are, you know, in one room. And I think that's the same energy as, you know, as we did the gigs in North America, because it was a metal show, but I did this acoustic set, and everybody, because it was a little bit strange, everybody had a lot of fun with it. So I think that's the energy, you know.
Maybe you were playing Iron Maiden, Wasted Years.
Yeah, totes. Yeah.
That was the riff for you playing.
Indeed, because the funny thing is, I saw a car on a guitarlele, which is a little guitar, much like a ukulele, and it's kind of the riff is on one string of it, so that's kind of similar. Yeah,
I think they should teach it to all beginners on guitar.
Toads. Yeah.
Part of the
Good
charm of the
idea.
song is it seems like it's being improvised. I think it would work live. You could pretend with the audience, I'm just inventing this song on the spot. It has these simple rhymes and it's telling an amusing story. I can imagine the
Yeah.
audience laughing along as they hear each
Yeah.
new part of the song.
That's such a good idea, though. Maybe I should do that anyway. Just go with it, playing, inventing a song live. That's such a good idea.
Well, the next two songs on the album are The Soul Knows and The End. And both these, again, have elaborate, interesting arrangements. You're working with other musicians. And they make me think of singer-songwriter mode of artistic creation.
Yeah, I
And
guess you're right.
it seems that the album has a diversity of songs, but then in these two, which are closer to the center of the album sort of finds its grounding. This really is a personal singer-songwriter kind of statement by you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's totally fair to say because I'm a singer/songwriter. And but it means getting down to the very core and getting down to the purity of music and of your emotions put into music. So for that, in that respect, singer-songwriter is also a very wide understanding, wide term for it. Um, but totally, yeah, it's these two songs deal with the topic of the album, deal with the multi-layered challenges I was facing, and just writing about that, so you can hear it back in the lyrics and in the arrangements and in the melodies for sure.
Yeah, it was a new experience for me to connect with your music that way, because I think of you above all as this talented musician who can do almost anything. You've got this metal band. You did this amazing album. What is it? The band's name is Fire.
True. Yeah.
So you can make a metal album like that, or you have a concept album like The Gentle Storm, or you have that live album with the symphony. And here you say, okay, I can do all those other things, but now I'm just going to express myself on the most intimate level possible.
Yeah, why not? I mean, and also all all these things that you do in a certain point in time in your life. So obviously when you grow older, you have new experiences, new ideas, new people in your life. Um, a lot of my inspiration comes from outside. So people who I work with inspire me, the places I go to, the traveling, the everyday on tour you meet every day, you meet new people. So in that respect, a lot of inspiration comes from outside in my outside world. And this album is a little bit different because everything came from here and from my inside. So it's an inward and introspective, and so that makes a huge difference. But could be that I make another album like this because I'm still writing songs, because I didn't stop when the album was created. Um, but maybe in a year time I feel different and I want to write a new metal album. It's just what you come across in your life at that moment in time.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. Well, as I was saying, for me, it was tracks 5 and 6 that brought everything together, giving me the impression this really is a singer-songwriter album. And then the next 3 tracks, 3 in a row, my absolute 3 favorite songs on the album. Well, it's hard to say that. My favorite one is the one I'm listening to at the moment. But those 3 in a row, tracks 7, 8, and 9, Keep It Simple, Lo and Behold, and Losing You.
Mm.
Those are such strong songs. You would expect like an album to begin with those 3. Like these are somehow the 3 singles that they make such a deep impression and powerful connection. What can you tell me about those songs?
Uh,
You mentioned Keep It Simple when we started talking.
Yeah, that was just a clear image for me, and a clear message also from me to myself. Like, Annie, keep it simple for once. Keep things simple because that's the only way you're gonna get through this. Shed all the hysteria or drama or what other people think or whatever. Shed it and keep it simple. Go back to what's really, really, really important in your life. I found out Hmm?
And you talk about that.
Yeah, I talk about it, and it's it's my family, and it's
And
I
that's lo and
sometimes think, sorry.
that's lo and behold.
That's low, exactly. That it's the same theme, like, and it's I like Lo and Behold because of the groove, and I'm practicing it now. Just I'm practicing my set and the new songs just when we have the green light and we go on tour again. I'll be ready to have a set list and I can go immediately. So I'm playing this now just to practice, and I love it so much just because it's so simple and it's so groovy, and it kind of I love, it's stupid to say about your own songs, but I love the song because it does something. It's something I don't I'm not finding the English words, but it's something primal. It has something primal which I like. Yeah.
And Losing You is the song that I first found um, looping in my head after I first listened
Hmm.
to the album. It's the one that stuck with me earliest.
Hmm.
It's such a gentle and beautiful song. Well, where did it come from?
It came from the place where you are when they say you are at rock bottom. And I was thinking, because for instance, me and my husband, right, we've been together now for almost 25 years, and we had our ups and downs, and I'm always away on tour, and we work together, so our lives is like never a week is never the same with us. So a lot of stuff happens, and but we always are are each other's big loves in our lives. We truly find each other like we are big loves. But then, because everything works so well and we understand each other, somehow there was a point in time that somehow we kind of lost each other, because there was so much stuff going on in our individual lives, but also with the band and with everything. We kind of lost each other, lost track of each other. We didn't notice. So when we noticed, we were already almost gone too far. And then that was the moment I realized, holy shit, isn't this the most important thing? What if I lost him? Then that would be obviously a disaster. and no, and only then I felt it. And before that, you think of a lot of answers, and you think of um, any which way you can solve your problem. You think, but then that moment was when I felt it. And then I wrote that song.
Well, it's such a perfect song for ending an album on. I was surprised when the album continued and we get another song with a great groove, um, Survive, which sings about the climate crisis and personal relationship. What's the connection there?
Yeah, actually, I wrote this song while we were in the first lockdown of the pandemic. Uh, the whole world was burning, and what do a lot of people choose? Let's go against each other. Let's hate one another. Let's do this to solve the problem, right? And I don't understand it. Why choose that over love, over working together, over trying to get connected, and um, to beat whatever is going on in the world. There's a lot of social issues with the Black Lives Matter, with the Me Too movement, and it makes me super sad that a lot of the times, I don't understand why we make the choices we make globally. So I try to, I try to say something about that also, and you can put it in your own personal relationship. Sometimes you're against each other, but we have to, in the end, but also socially, globally, we have to work together, as a species to survive.
And the last song
But
is,
call me a hippie.
well, hey, you and me both. We're on the same
Good.
page. And the final song is Love You Like I Love You, where you sing of you wouldn't be the woman who you are without the love that you have.
Hmm. I guess that's true. I mean, obviously, I am my own person. I'm an independent woman, and I will survive. Without somebody, on by my side. But all my years with Rob, with my husband, has taught me different things. I wouldn't be the same person if I wouldn't be with him, So I learned and I live and I learned, and the wisdom that I've gathered together with him. So yeah, it's kind of an ending song, like, where everything kind of comes together.
Well, thank you for pouring out your love and passion into your music. It really comes
You're
across.
so welcome. Well, thank you for listening to it with such a passionate heart, man. I mean, that's the thing that we share now, you and me both. So, and I think that's also a very important thing, is to not only me pouring something into the world, but just to share it. And it makes me very happy that you listen with such a good and wise ear. And yeah, that's my mission accomplished right there.
Well, what can we expect next from Anneke? Are you planning to go on tour? Are there any dates set? Are you working on new music? What happens next?
Yeah, there are dates, because we have to, have some perspective on in the future. But I think proper touring will be 22, in the year 22. And before that, maybe we can do some bits and pieces in Holland, during the summer or whatever, and I will do them. I'm practicing my solo set so I can go out whenever we can. And I'm creating something really lovely to go online just after the release of the album. I'm going to do something really special for a streaming event, instead of the immediate tour after the release. So you keep busy creatively. I still write songs. I want to go back to that little scary house near the woods, and write some more stuff for the future, as we are locked inside anyway, so make the best of it.
Are there any collaborations with other musicians that are happening during the pandemic? For example, that metal band Fire.
Yes, but well, Fire, Vuur is my metal, how do you say, it's the name for my metal thing that I'm doing. I'm a loss for words, but
It's your alter ego,
so
your metal alter
kind
ego.
of, yeah, exactly. So whenever I want to do something metal, prog, heavy, rock, whatever, I do it under the name Vuur. So that's my metal moniker. And so I can go back to that anytime I feel like making a metal album or work together with people from the metal scene and so on. So that's still there. It's just on the back burner, and I'll focus on the solo album at the moment. So,
It's amazing how many different things you do.
yeah. I like it because I like changing, because it gives me different energy. Being in on a stage with a metal band is all about energy and being loud and moving around and so on. And being in a solo acoustic set live is being all about connecting to the audience, telling stories. It's very intimate feeling, and I like both so much. So I try to keep them, all these things in my life.
Yeah, you could join Amorphous. I hope you do another tour with them. That was wonderful.
Who? Amorphous.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that band. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to. Every time they ask me, I will say yes, and I go out with them. They're amazing.
Well, thanks so much for saying yes to us today and joining us for this conversation. It was wonderful.
You're welcome, Chris. Thank you so much. And say hello
week.
to your wife.
Will do. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep making music.
You too, my man.
Thanks
Thank you.
again.
See you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.